Very good. So, again, equipping busy coaches with the essentials to build thriving businesses. That's our goal as the Go team. And, of course, living out then Beachbody's mission, which is to help people achieve their goals and live healthy and fulfilling lives. Quickly, as I'm thinking about it, who, as of this point, October 17th is for Saturday, completely random. How many of you, anybody planning on attending a Super Saturday event near them? Anybody? Shouting. There we go. That's nice for Jason. Anybody attending Super Saturday event? We have some going on down in Indy for our area. So just questioning if anybody's heading. Yep. Whoop, whoop. That's great. So if you aren't going to one and you have literally said, I probably can't make it, I want you to just consider a second for a moment what it means. We haven't signed up yet. Okay. What it means to really invest in your business when it comes to Super Saturdays. Now, guys, particularly for us in the Michiana area, we're going to be going down to a big one down in Indy on the 17th for those of us who are local. Now, I know for you, some of you, it's like you got kids, you got sports, you got all that stuff going on. Completely understand. So I'm just going to ask you if now moving forward, though, it's not going to be a secret as to knowing when these are going to be. And it's 4 times a year. And I'm going to ask you to really, especially if you're going to be, and as we look at this next diagram here, guys, if you're going to be hobby, or at least the high end of hobby, moving into this kind of business builder side of life, you got to be at these. Okay. And I'm not trying to be like a guilt guy or anything crazy, but really it's a way to invest in your business. And it's a great chance and opportunity, especially now as we, particularly in our Michiana area, are partnering with bigger teams. That means bigger people are potentially going to be there as it relates to Beachbody, like trainers. Down in Indy recently, the last 2 have been Autumn Calabrese and Tony Horton were both there. Carl Deichler as well. So this particular time, Michael Neiman, who you see in a lot of the Super Saturday videos, is going to be there. He's kind of the bald guy, funny guy. So would be great to have you go and try to make that. So again, guys, we want the team to be about, just so you can know, that people who are now obviously you're a discount coach, you're probably not on this call. Discount only. You actually do have some idea of wanting to build the business a little bit. Okay, so even the hobby coach, and then all the way through up into somebody who's all in as a business builder. Okay, and so, but we really want to help you be able to build at the level you are at, and not feel like, oh, Dan, he's just that full-time guy, and that's all he wants us all to be is full-time. Okay. I understand. Yes, I am sometimes a focused and guy who wants to really help people develop. But the thing is, any bit of action that you can take towards your health or towards your goals, as they are this is your business, is going to help your business grow. And that's one of the reasons why we get here on these team calls, is to encourage you and to help you move forward. Now, Miss Jennifer Rose, are you on the call? You've got a quote to grow on. This is one of our newer coaches. And real quickly, Jennifer, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I sure can. Awesome.
All right.
Good deal. So, Jen, how long have you been coaching for?
Just a couple months now, actually.
That was nice. You just sang that. It's like, I love that.
It's all your good training.
Former choir students. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Months. Yes, that's great. And you started your first challenge group. How's that been going so far?
Yeah, we are in week 3 actually, so I'm just starting to wrap that up. And I have a couple of really good potential coaches, so I'm still working with them. They're kind of going back and forth on it, so we're just gonna keep going and see what's in store.
I'll make sure that let's make sure that they see the webinar. Did they get a chance to see the webinar?
I have talked to both of them about it. I don't know if they've watched it yet.
Okay, we'll make sure that they get a hold of it. So that's great.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, so quote to grow on. Let's share this and let's hear it. Go.
Yeah.
Do you see?
The quote I have, and I actually have this up at work, is don't stop throwing your stone, no matter what the world throws at you. And that was actually from our senior pastor at my church. I go to Northridge Church here in Plymouth, and his name is Brad Powell. And basically, what it's really talking about is the story in the Bible about David and Goliath. But how I view this as well is just David being myself, just, a normal person.
Hold on 2 seconds. I'm going to
Yeah.
mute everybody else real quick to make sure it's not. Is it coming from you? All that background? I don't know if that is.
I don't think so.
Hold on. Let me mute it all real quick, and then you unmute yourself or mute yourself. Here we go. Okay, bring it back. Go ahead. Bring yourself back.
Got it?
Yep.
All right.
So much better. Okay. Go for it. So David and Goliath.
Yep, David and Goliath. And basically how I view that is David obviously is just a normal shepherd boy. I'm just a normal girl. He went up to fight Goliath, who was just this giant. And he was offered armor, but it didn't fit well. He didn't feel comfortable in it. So he wanted to stay who he was. He wanted to stay true to himself and not be anybody that he wasn't. And so I look at myself as trying to stay true to myself, trying to be, who I am, who God made me to be, and not try to be anybody else, because that'll come off fake. Goliath, then on the other side, I view today as just all the obstacles and all the circumstances that the world just keeps putting in our way and putting in our path. And so I just know with God that my obstacles and my circumstances are never going to be too big for me to accomplish what the ultimate goal is. So at this specific service, they handed out stones, and it's just, don't stop throwing your stone. Don't stop throwing that stone at Goliath, no matter what the world throws at you. And I know that I have to work at my gifts, and I have to work hard in order to have that precision to hit Goliath right in the right spot to knock him down. So that's just something that I have a bad day, I'm dealing with a bad customer or something like that at work. I just always look at that quote and I'm like, I can't stop throwing my stone. I can't stop shining bright, trying to turn the light on for people just because of these negativities that are coming at me all the time.
So good, Jen. And as it relates, I think specifically, let's turn that corner then into coaching.
Yes.
There's a lot of potential discouragement that the world can throw at, especially, I've been dealing with this just recently, is that there's so many people who just continually making excuses about, well, yeah, someday, if it takes longer than 10 minutes, I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
I literally talked to a guy today. He said that to me, and he's in his late 40s and he's not doing so well. I can just tell. But I'm like, really, dude? 10 minutes? That's all you're going to potentially give it. 10 minutes a day is all you got. Really? Are you that busy? And
right.
So, but still keep throwing a stone at obesity. Keep throwing a stone at, I call it living half-life syndrome, that people aren't living out to their fullest potential because their energy levels are down, because their confidence levels are down, all these different things that maybe as it relates to their health and physical nature, which of course affects the spirit, right? So
correct. Yep.
Good stuff. Well, thank you so much for sharing, and especially for being your first call, and you did wonderful. Great job. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Very good. All right. Moving on here, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. Now use this. Oh, yes, it's that time again. Thank you very much. And as if you didn't remember what it was, it is, in fact, now use this. Yes, it's sorry. Anyway, I want to be Jimmy Fallon in my heart, but I'm nowhere near as talented or nearly as funny. But I do want us to use the stuff that we have on our calls very carefully, or that it's actually equipping you well. Now, guys, been still reading this book, The One Thing. If you don't have it, One Thing, Gary Keller, I'm telling you, it's so good. It's so good. You want to make sure that you get it. Somehow, focuses you so much on the one thing that matters, okay? And one of the things he talks about as it relates to our time is a thing called time blocks. Okay? Time blocks. And as it relates to you and getting anything done, I don't care what it is. This is great because it applies beyond necessarily just coaching. Okay? But setting blocks of time for you to move the ball forward. Okay? And it can't be like about a 6-minute block. That's not even called a block. Okay? Half hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever you got necessarily to block your time, and then schedule that time as if it were an appointment with yourself. Dentist, doctor appointment, whatever you need to do to think of that. And then treat it as such, okay? Turn off the notifications, turn off the cell. If there's a specific project that you're going to work on, maybe as it relates to your business, as it relates to whatever you're trying to accomplish, okay? So maybe it's, and I remember Tyler talking about this back when, is that he was talking about he really needed to develop his blog. And instead of like messing around in a lot of social media world and just kind of random Facebook posts, commenting, things, he like turned that all off and just said, look, no, I'm going to focus in on really writing this blog content that he could ultimately then get out. That was a bigger project that he'd been really trying to work to get going. And once he finally got that going, and now it's potentially something he can use and point people to a lot more. So I just think about that. So when you're thinking about your time, think about it in terms of blocks, guys, rather than just like the random get on to, I guess I'm going to do my coaching business today. And that means like, I guess I social media post and maybe check in a group or something like, but actually like really intentional time. There's certainly that time that you can say, okay, yes, I'm going to connect with my group, or I'm going to be creating content for my social media posts or whatever, things like that. That's great. But if there's things that you need to move, like maybe making a transformation video, maybe it's creating a blog, maybe it's just creating more content than that day's content, okay? And that's a really good thought, because like if you want to set up a challenge, and the thing is, I think people tend to do too little too late when it comes to challenges. They're like, it's the Hail Mary invite, like the day before the deadline. It's like, hey guys, the deadline's tomorrow. We're signing up for our challenge. It's going to start in the next week. You got to order quick. And then people, of course, don't respond because they're like, wait, I don't even know anything about it, and you want me to order it now? What's the deal? Okay. So, appropriately setting up social media posts that would then set up an invite later. So start adding value. So tomorrow for me and the rest of this week is leading all the way up to, we've got an event, or, an event as it relates to this coming forward. Okay. Our Rocktober challenge starting on the October 19th. We can use the fitforlifechallenge.com as your invite source. If you need to know how to invite to that particularly, please let us know. We want to make sure, which would be great. But on the 19th, this is at least when I'm going to be running a challenge. So if you would like to add to my challenge and you've got people that are maybe interested, and maybe it's been a while. Maybe it's been a while since you've actually really tried to invite people to a group. And it's time to like go, you know what? Why do I keep waiting? What keeps holding me back? And if you need help with that and maybe to dissect some of those things, connect with your upline, connect with me. Love to help you guys push through so you're actually inviting to something. If you're not inviting to something, guys, it's really hard to build your business. I mean, really hard. It just is. It is. And here's the thing. You may be out of practice. You may be even not feeling so good about yourself physically. But getting back in the game, and it, like I posted today, I don't know if you guys saw this, you're only one customer away, 10 pounds away, maybe one good leadership, inspirational book away from getting back in the game with your business. And I'm not kidding you guys. I've seen this happen so many times with people. It just takes that one moment, just that one customer. Claire's for you, just one coach, bam, clicked you back in. Okay, I'm back, I'm engaged, versus I haven't signed up somebody for so long, but the thing is like, well, I haven't really invited anybody. So I guess it's, so of course you're going to feel like crap about it. Come on, guys. The Go team has been, and I'm just going to call us all up out of this. September was a suck month for us. Just being real. It was. And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not saying, but just as like we were just kind of all drippy and we're kind of in defeat mode. It was like, oh man, I guess we don't really have anything good to offer. There's, it's the 21-day fix isn't on sale this month. It's PIO. Oh, blah, blah, blah. So we're better than that. We're better than that. Come on, y'all. Like, I think we have like about 3 or 4 people even get Success Club points, okay? That's not this team. I'm just telling you. You guys have way more potential than that. So let's live into that this next month. As we start this new month, maybe this is like the pep talk that should be at the end of the call, but because I felt like I had to say it, especially as we relate to this challenge. If you need to set up your own challenge, maybe a week later or whatever, do it. Especially some of you guys are like beasts. Body Beast is freaking on sale. And we just got Hammer and Chisel released. Previewing that, sending that out. Oh my gosh, huge. Okay, so enough. Thank you. Stop preaching. I'll move on. Okay. Speaking of training, though, next week. Okay, we said it was going to be this week, but it just did not come together in time. I hate to say it, guys. I was doing a big thing at my fitness center where I had a 1-year anniversary celebration last Saturday. I could not pull that together and get Rock the Basics pulled all together simultaneously. Couldn't happen. Okay. So I'm looking for help as it relates to running the Rock the Basics group. If you have a heart for helping people with systems, and I've got several of you in mind for this, even if you've never really done much of this before, helping people with systems, getting them connected into this coaching system, I need your help in helping run the group, okay? Especially if you're a little bit more seasoned coach, I need some help, okay? Can't run this as not the Go team. It's not the Dan team. It's the Go team. It's us, okay? We need to do it together, okay? So an invite is going to be going out. It's already got posted. Some of you are even accepted early. Good job. But we're going to invite the whole group after this call to Rock the Basics, okay? With using our new mycoachhq.com website, okay? The training that's on there. So we'd love to have you come along if you are interested in that. 3-week journey, okay? You're only doing stuff during the week. You're not doing anything on the weekends. It's 5 days. It's going to basically walk you through the content in My Coach HQ, okay? So if you're interested in that, please make sure you sign up, and make sure, guys, if you have downline that are even mildly interested in getting some of those things, here's the thing, guys, it will help you answer so many questions, help them get so many questions answered, then you won't have to waste time on later, okay? How do I sign up a coach? How do I sign up a customer? Where do I go for my website? Blah, 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 blah. All these things, it's in the training, okay? And it's going to save you time, so then you can connect with new people and new customers if they are in this group, okay? So don't miss out on this. And we're going to we're going to run these every month. It's how the biggest teams are able to get more people on as we keep rolling them. And then you guys get confident in the system, and we keep rolling it out, keep rolling it, and keep rolling it, and people training, they get more success. And then you guys feel confident enough to invite people to the coaching opportunity, which really happens, okay? That's what we're looking to do. That's what we're looking to accomplish, okay? Coach the Basics starts next Monday. Very good. I'm going to skip over that and get right to the meat of things. Guys, tonight, very excited. We have, I have run out of people to talk to. Developing your customer base with my good friend, 2-star diamond coach, soon will be 15-star, Alisha Carpenter. And yes, of course. It's like the next step. What are you, like, signing 400 coaches?
I love it.
That's going to be great. She has all the potential to be a 15-star. Put it that way. I will tell you that. And just some of the things about Alisha. She is the most quirky, fun-loving gal who loves just to have a great time. She and I just, like, we click like brother and sister. Like, that's what I call her. She's the sister I never had, just because we're both nuts. And so I just, like, my sister from another mister is Alisha Carpenter, guys. I want to can we all, like, give her a shout out in the chat, please, if you would. Welcome to Alisha. And I'll give you a clap myself. Yay. Okay. I guess nobody's shouting out in the chat. I will. There we are. Okay. Yahoo. Awesome. Okay, girl. So tell us a little bit about your story before we get started into this. How did you get into Beachbody real quick? And what keeps you, what are you engaged in now? And what's exciting for you now as you move? You just kind of hit the 2-star diamond point. Talk to us a little bit about that journey.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Sure can.
Yes. Love it when technology works in our favor. Okay. For those of you who don't know, I actually quit my corporate America job after 18 years with no job lined up 2 years ago. And I basically said, this stress is killing me. My stomach was a mess. I had 2 stomach surgeries back to back. I was on every medicine under the stars. It was really bad. And I cried and cried and cried. There was just no words for the pain that I was in and how doctors just couldn't help me. And so I just said to my husband, I've got to stop. This isn't going to work. And he said, okay. And it was terrifying. I was the breadwinner and it was absolutely terrifying, but it was something we knew we had to do for our family, for my health, for our future. So in May of 2013, I quit my corporate America banking job. And I worked part-time for him and basically tried to find my health. And I took a couple classes locally here at the local college and I got A's. They were for nutrition classes and didn't really learn anything. Basically what I learned was I didn't want to be a dietitian for an old folks home, with all due respect. It just wasn't my thing. But what happened was, coincidentally, at the same time, call it what you will, Kate invited me on Facebook to a 5-day jumpstart challenge.
Kate being Kate
Ingram.
Okay.
David Ingram's wife.
Yep. Okay.
And I actually knew David through his old job at Experian and my old job at Experian, my banking job, but had friended David and Kate through Facebook. And so it just thought, you know what do I have to lose? So September 30th, 2013, I joined a 5-day jumpstart challenge, which is actually the Turbo Fire 5-day jumpstart. You guys are probably familiar with.
Yes.
And by day 3, and I'm not exaggerating, by day 3, my pain was gone.
So good.
And I was doing Shakeology and I said, that's it. Whatever this is, I'm doing this for the rest of my life. I had been in chronic pain from on a scale of 1 to 10, from probably about a 3 to a 5 at all times. So it was a big deal for me to be pain free. And basically, it was something that was like, I could do this. I could actually coach. And October 5th, about now, 2 years ago, I signed up as a coach and I haven't looked back since. I've been a full-time coach since October 2013 and I absolutely love it.
Oh, that's so good. And so, and then so recently you hit that 2-star mark. What does it feel like to be a 2-star in the club?
It's actually kind of
yet.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like it's actually kind of surreal. Like I feel like I did the same day that I went Emerald. It's just that feeling of, yes, this is good. I'm helping people. I'm starting to get recognized. I am a Sapphire. I need to be recognized. I need to have my face out there. Very, very, very E. You can't tell. And so it is, there you go, Claire. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, girl. But it just feels wonderful. It just feels great. I mean, just to know that there are 91 coaches in my downline. We've helped over 1,600 people. We're making a significant impact on my local area. And I love it. I love it.
I love that. I love what you do with, if you guys have ever, I would definitely follow Alisha, friend her, and that kind of stuff.
Oh, please do. Yes. Friendly.
Ladies particularly, I just got to tell you, it really helps to have, and especially because it's one thing to follow Melanie Mitro, right? But it's a quite different thing to follow someone who's a 2-star, who's maybe 2 or 3 steps ahead of you versus like 40 steps ahead of you, okay? and it's a different feel. And she's going to post differently than a Melanie. I mean, Melanie Mitro can say, hey, earning six-figure income, seven-figure income. It's pretty easy to get some attention that way. Alicia's going to talk a little bit differently because, you know, the truth is, as great as Two-Star is, it's not a seven-figure income at this point, okay? But, as much as we want it to be, but it's not.
That's right.
So that's great stuff. And I do love the way that Alicia particularly follows. One of the things that she does really a great job, she's a numbers gal. You're so numbery. I love it. You're like.
It's the banker in me. I can't help
like
it.
The 200, you're like, this
Totally.
whatever numbered day, and I've got like this, and this is, I stole it on the last, when I did my fitness center. I calculated approximately how many hours people had worked out at my fitness center. And
Nice!
And then I did it by minutes. So it was like 359,243.
525,600.
Anyway, so that's great stuff. Let's get into the meaty part of your call here.
Yes.
Shall we? And you gave me a few slides, and so let's talk a little bit. You mentioned invite, and
Yes.
so tell us why, as it relates to our overall topic, which is I've run out of people to talk to.
Yeah, I mean, this is
invite. What is that all about?
This is, I believe, the hardest of the three vital behaviors. It's just one of those things where most people go, I can do my personal development. I can be proof that the products work. That's kind of the easier stuff to do. That's what we do, right? To invite, it's scary. It's intimidating. It's hard to put yourself out there. So I wanted to pick this one because I really feel like this is something that, you know, we need to devote more time is to get more marketable people, especially for those who feel like you've exhausted your warm market. It's just, I hope some of these tips provide you some new leads, some new excitement, some new ideas, and just get you guys started.
Awesome. So I got a first slide here. You want me to go?
Yeah, go.
Here we go.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you Dan for inviting me. It's an honor and a privilege to be here today. So I absolutely love your team, guys. Please, if you haven't already, friend me. More people the merrier. And congratulations on your 1-year anniversary. It looked like a ton of fun. I'm sorry I didn't make it there. I really did think about driving there. I really did. But 9.5 hours for one day. I don't know if I could do it.
The 2-year anniversary is 363 days away, just so you can put that on. You got that. Just kidding. Write it down. Nice.
Okay. So, live out loud. Really, really loud. And this is hard because a lot of people think that we're braggy and we're annoying people, and living out loud can be very scary. I know, coming from being a full-time executive banker, putting myself out there saying, okay, now I'm a Beachbody coach, it was terrifying for me. It was terrifying. But when you are proof that the products work, you can just live out loud and let your proofs do the talking. Mm-hmm. So one of the things
can I just hit on that? That's why, guys, it has to. Now, you don't have to have the complete transformation, but it really does help to have a story that's in progress, making progress the right way. Because obviously, if you don't have that, all right, you're probably not going to want to live out as loud, right? I think that sometimes can be the case. Because psychologically, you're going, I don't know. Yeah. But you got to take, and not that you have to have a perfect, like fantastic full-out transformation, but you at least need to be taking steps in the right direction. Okay.
Yes, I signed my first coach after I lost 3 pounds.
Yep.
You know, people love success. I mean, people love to hear these stories. So, you don't have to have the 50-pound transformation in order to be successful as a coach. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that I hear quite often from coaches is they feel like they struggle with proving it to people, right? I got to be proof that the products work. I got to convince people that I'm doing this. The one thing that I highly recommend is you actually prove it to yourself first. You live, breathe, eat, sleep this life, right? You cook with the containers. You work out every day. You drink your shake every day. Because when you live that life, we all know the products work, right? You are going to prove it to your spouse. You're going to prove it to your family. You're going to prove it to anybody when you go to Thanksgiving dinner. And then you're going to prove it to your friends. Everyone who sees you is going to see it. You're going to lose weight. Your skin's going to look better. Your hair's going to look better. Your nails are going to look better. Everything about you just glow. You know what I'm talking about. When you are proof of the products, people flock to you. People want what you have. You can't hide it because you're living it, right? It's who you are. So my number one proof, or my number one point here is just prove it to yourself first. Okay. Talk about your results and what you're doing everywhere you go. Like I said, I signed my first coach when I had lost 3 pounds. It was my best friend. We were standing in a bathroom in a restaurant, and she was like, "What are you doing? You look so great. What are you doing?" And I said, "I lost 3 pounds." And she goes, "I'm doing what you're doing. That's it. I'm doing it." So when you talk about your results and what you're doing and how you're doing it, everywhere you go, people are going to be attracted to that. Okay, every conversation you have from here on forward, I recommend you end it with, "Well, when you're ready, let me know, because I'm going to continue doing this and I would love to have you join me." That's every conversation, whether it's your mom, your uncle, your friends, whatever. Every conversation. You're at the grocery store. I don't care. Somebody you see every time you go to the grocery store. When you're ready, just let me know, because I would love to have you join me. I'm not stopping. So come on and join me. And then that way they know who to go to on December 26th when they're feeling really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really great because, one of the things that there's a confidence, guys, that shows. Now, that can also, for some of you, you're like, "Oh my gosh, I could never be that. So that seems so pushy. Oh, that seems so up." But there's also, I think there's a point that you can make that authentic to you. Okay. Because again, Alisha and I are both big sapphires. So we're going to come off very much. We can pull that off. If you're more of an emerald style, you can still have a similar version of that. It may not be like as in your face, like "Hey, I'll follow up the next time and we're going to talk because I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah." So we can do it. Absolutely. But you can do it in your own style, in your own fashion, but still have that kind of confidence. Okay. Anyway, I want to make sure that everybody understands it. It doesn't have to, it can transcend personality style too, as well. See, there's a lemon you're going to buy and you're going to love it. It's going to be great. Got a gun rack on. Right.
Dan met a car salesman today. Okay, next slide.
He was actually really nice.
Of course he was.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that good? So far, so good? All right, let's pop
next
on.
One.
Slide. Here we go. Consistency.
Oh, one of my lines got cut off, which is my favorite line.
I did.
It's okay. I got
probably
it. It's not there, but that's okay because I know it now.
There it is. I got it. You see it?
Nothing is more inspiring than enthusiasm. It's true. If your best friend stands on a mountaintop and says, "Oh my God, you've got to try this. I feel fantastic. I love it. I've got it. You've got to do it with me." You're going to think about it.
Yep.
You're going to think about it. And that's what we want. We have a lot of people that we see day in and day out, or talk to, or, deal with on social media. When they see you and they know that you're enthusiastic about it, they're going to be inspired.
Absolutely.
I learned that actually from Jen Sincero.
Oh yeah. Jen Sincero, you guys know the badass gal, right?
She actually said nothing is sexier than enthusiasm, but I just thought it would be a little bit more appropriate, a little PG.
That's all right. Yeah. Emily, Allison, you're on the call. Yeah, she's big liker of that book, and she's blogged on it.
Good stuff.
So that's good.
Guys, that's
enthusiasm, just hitting on that real fast, is the fact that the more you are able, it's very difficult to, unless somebody's just a flat out jerk, it's very difficult to squash enthusiasm, unless just a flat out jerk, So the more, at least, they have to at least respect you for your enthusiasm. And then on top of that, it's got to be sustained. Like if you do it once and then it's like the next time you're around, you're like, Well, I guess, but it's like, so the more you can be that sustained enthusiasm, that I would say adding that to it, Alish, the more then people think you're the real deal. Because the truth is, if anybody can be good for a day or a week, but man, to be good for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, a year, 2 years, to be that, let's go, that takes effort. And then people respect that. Because the haters,
why it's priceless. It's the second and the third bullet points are price. Oh, did you lose me?
Moving on or no?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Just the second and the third bullet points are so important. If you are proving it to yourself, that enthusiasm is going to happen. That's all there is to it. You know, like you are living this, you are like I said, eating, breathing, sleeping. If you are living this, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel good. And that is what's inspiring people.
Yeah.
You just have to do it.
Awesome.
Okay. Next slide.
Yep.
Consistency is key. Okay. So this sounds a little cliche, right? It's kind of cliche. We've all heard it 1,000 times, you know, the slight edge and all that. Yes. Consistency is key. But what I bring it up to you now is this is where the compound effect starts kicking in, right? Work out daily, drink your Shakeology, read or learn, do your YouTubes, your Audibles, your podcasts. And this is one of my favorites that Melanie Mitro said is pair up a mindless job with listening to something. So you're folding your laundry. You know, like I said, I drive a lot for my husband for still helping him part-time. So I listen to podcasts, I listen to YouTube videos, I listen constantly. And when you do all that, when you are constantly living this, you will always have something to post about. Mm-hmm. Okay. You will always have something to post about. I was weeding the other day and I heard this great quote and I was like, I got to post it. So if you're doing your consistent, even like, okay, for example, what you had for lunch today. Yeah, it was 21 Day Fix approved, right? So you take a picture of it. There's something to post about. So when you have something to post about, posting daily is very easy. You can post on Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, your like page, YouTube, Twitter, and or your website, your blog. If you have all of them, do it. If you don't, that's fine. Just pick one. Like Chalene Johnson says, pick one and just go to town on that one and post daily.
I would say too, and that especially when it comes to the content. So I'd say people who do have issues and difficulty with post ideas generally aren't learning as much. So when you are learning something, guys, that's when you have something to post. But when you're just trying to find stuff to fill spots, then it's like, then you feel stupid. You're like, I'm going to try to make some kind of attention here. But if you're genuinely learning something. And people love to follow people in a process of learning something. So good. And so good. Keep going.
Thanks. One of the things that I think was really important to me, I love it, Claire. Claire's like silent typer. One of the things that was really important to me was knowing who my audience was, knowing who my target audience was. And if you don't, you're kind of just willy-nilly posting. And one of the things that I love to do is to take these things that I'm learning, take these things that I do every day and kind of tailor it. And Dan is the master at this. You tailor it to your audience, right? You have to know who you are talking to. Don't just say, I love this meme. People are going to be bored. They're probably going to scroll right past it. Memes are just everywhere nowadays. When you provide value with your posts, directly to the person who you are talking to, they can't ignore you. So what I would love for you guys to do is take a minute, if you haven't already, take a minute and think about your target audience. Who are your best customers? Who are the people that you attract? Who are the people that you love to work with? For me, it's me 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. It is, I'm stressed. I'm 40 years old. I am so overweight and so uncomfortable and in pain. And my fat rolls were hanging over my pants and I couldn't find happiness. I cried all the time. That's who I'm talking to. Mm-hmm. And I feel her pain. and I know her pain very, very well. So when I see something or I learn something, I try to write something about it to speak directly to her. Because when you know that somebody feels your pain and you know somebody who's walking in your shoes, you're going to be more likely to join that person. You're attracting people who are like attracts like, they say.
Yeah, and especially, guys, if you're still in the process of trying to discern that, I think what that tool that you just said, and it doesn't even need to be 3 years ago at this point. So for her, it was 3 years ago. But for you, it could be 6 months ago or 3 months ago. Like, that could be your target. Like, who were you 3 months ago? Who were you 6 months ago? If you're newer getting involved in this, what problems did you have at that point that since then you have helped or you have found solutions for? And then you teach people the steps to get from A to J or whatever letter you're at right now, because we're never done, right? So that's kind of the point. So if you can think of that in terms of using that as a transferable principle here, guys. Where were you X amount of years or months ago?
Before Beachbody.
Yep, before Beachbody. Yep, there you go. So, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we're good.
Right.
All right, so here's the good stuff. This is what you've been waiting for. How to find new people. New people. Okay, so when you share your story and the benefits of the benefits, meaning not just all the good stuff that you get, you lose weight, you gain energy, blah, 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 all that stuff we know. When you talk about what that gives you in life, the capability to play with your children, the capability to wear whatever you want whenever you want to, the capability to go on vacation and not worry about getting on a bathing suit at any time of year. Talk about the benefits of the benefits. You share that story as much as possible with everyone you know and love. What happens is your circle grows because these people are going to tell these people. And these people are going to tell these people. And if you talk to, you start thinking about it, how far away are you from, your core network of people?
Kevin Bacon, for that matter.
What's that?
Or Kevin Bacon. You're probably like 5 degrees away.
Dude, so you're like 1.
You can read. Continuing. What up, Dan?
It's fun. Okay. One of the things, this is my number 1 tip. If you do nothing at all from what I tell you tonight, do this one, is post about actual people. Tag them and their friends, and they will want to jump on this. So if you need an example, look at what I posted today. It's me jumping, right? I'm not a good jumper. Dan probably would, that's like poo-poo my form.
Knees up, knees up.
My knees are terrible. But basically what happens is that you ask for permission. You don't have to have a picture of them in their underpants. A lot of people are, concerned about asking. But if you just share success stories of actual people and you tag them in it with permission, their friends are going to see it. Their friends are at their next party are going to say, hey, what was that post about last week? You've lost 10 pounds? And they're going to want to jump on it. So that helps go outside your initial warm market. Okay. And I have to say, I'm probably at about 4 degrees away from myself right now. So, this is huge. This is a big one. Jocelyn Napier is very, very good at this as well. She does this all the time.
And guys, it's I would say one of the biggest fumbles that our team has done. I would just be honest on this, guys. It's not sharing the proof that the products actually do work outside of me, okay? If I shine, I don't know if you guys see this with me, and this is part of the reason why, and I'm not like boasting about it, but I picked up Jocelyn's, her technique on this. It's the Transformation Tuesdays, Wow Wednesdays, wherever it hits, or Throwback Thursdays, however you want to use it. Any of those 3 days works if you can do it. But then get those stories, capture those stories from your groups. And it's so critical. Help your people finish well. Check out what I've just done recently. Okay. I went on to wristbandconnection.com. I'm going to show this to the camera. Okay. I've just purchased a bunch of these wristbands. Let's go fitness.com. I'm sorry, it's backwards probably, but 21-day challenge. Okay. when they finish, in order to get this little thing, and it's like, hey, this cool, sweet thing, you can go, you have to submit your results. I've set up a web form on my website to actually get them to give me their transformation, give me numbers, and then also submit pictures to me. Comes directly to me. They can also do it to Team Beachbody. That's great, but here's the thing. They send it to Team Beachbody. You don't get them, okay? And Beachbody's not going to get them to unless they somehow like win money, which isn't as frequent as many challenges that you have, okay? So figure out a way to, even if it's someone who's completely embarrassed and they don't want to get their picture ever posted, at least have them, if they do make progress, hold up a sign and say 21 days down 7 pounds, or, you know, or like, and X amount of inches. Yeah, smiling, looking, you know, whatever. Something like that. And then shining the light on them. That's called edification. And when you edify somebody else, guys, it massively boosts your social credit, okay? Then you become the expert in the eyes of all the followers of that person. So when it is time, like you mentioned, Lish, on the 26th of December, when they're ready to do this, they're at least going, wait a minute, about Susie. She had that transformation. Maybe I should talk to her friend. That's what it is. That's how you open up your market. Okay, go. Great stuff. Keep talking.
Okay, so one of the other things is not just necessarily Dan's story or, you know, the people who are in your challengers, you know, is also your own story, right? So everybody has a story. Every single person. We're going to talk about this on the next slide, but is share your story on how you overcome certain struggles. And it's really, really hard to do this. I know, I've done it. But what happens is people relate to struggle a heck of a lot more than they relate to success. Mm-hmm. And this is hard, I know. Let me give you an example. I actually posted in the summertime that I was going out for an infomercial. And power of positive thinking, I convinced myself that I was going to make it in this infomercial. I was convinced. I knew I was going to get in. I didn't make it in. And I cried for about 3 hours straight. It was horrible.
Oh, Lish.
See, you're feeling it, right?
Right.
I remember it was awesome. Claire, I love you, girl. Okay. And I posted up that I didn't make it in. And I seriously, like, I really thought whether or not I was going to keep doing Beachbody. It was bad. I was in a bad place. But I said to my husband, that's it. I've committed to this. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to share this struggle. And guys, within like 10 minutes, I got 200 and some likes. Mm-hmm. Everybody flocked. I got goosebumps thinking about it. It made me feel amazing, because what happens is that people go, what you just did, Dan, that feeling in your heart of, oh gosh, she almost had it. You know, she almost had it. She deserves it. She's worked so hard. You know, it's relatable. Everyone relates to struggle. So share them. Share them. If you have a thing, something in you that's haunting you about life, about your own personal struggles, do your best to write it nicely so that people can relate to it. Because I know you're all thinking, she's crazy. I can't believe she's asking me to do this. But something that, like, you know, you hide Twinkies under your sink because you don't want your husband to see your Twinkies. Share it. People are going to go, oh my God, I totally hide my Twinkies too. You know, like, seriously, like, look at what David Ingram posted today. I mean, I was like, what? He just posted that he's going into marital therapy. Good for him. Good for them. You know, it's like this, the underdog. Everyone roots for the underdog. So that is going to, and post it publicly, meaning on Facebook, make it public. So not just your friends see it, your friends of friends see it, and strangers see it, because that stuff spreads like wildfire. People love those stories.
Yeah. And guys, this is, if you guys have read any of Brene Brown, She's an author, and she talks about the power of vulnerability. And what vulnerability does is it lends to trust, okay? Vulnerability lends to trust, or leads to trust. The more you are the sage on the stage kind of a person, the more distant you start to feel, okay? When everything goes right for you, when everything is perfect, when everything's sunshine, hey, everything's great, you are less and less relatable. But when you are vulnerable, okay? Now that everybody, there's an extreme of that where it's like, vomit, obviously, that point where people like go crazy with too much, and then it becomes negative and like, woe is me, that can be bad. But shared in the proper, appropriate context, then that's really, really helpful. Okay?
Yes, but please note the end of that bullet, which is, and how you overcome it.
Yes.
So it's not a bunch of, oh my God, woe is me, like you said, Dan. And one of the things that David talked about was post every post to make it something that people will want to like. Don't say, I'm hiding my Twinkies and I can't figure out how to do it. People aren't going to want to like that. You go,
yep.
You have to turn it around. Yep. Saying, so the way I ended my post was, I don't need to be in the infomercial. I am Beachbody.
Yeah, there you go.
And it literally got, people just flocked to it. It was just the best. Okay. So that's all about that. Sorry. I could go on forever about that one. Okay. So the next one is offer a freemium. Is, if you've got a 3-day menu that you created, think about the person that you are talking to again, remember your audience, and what would your audience want free? Because this is a great way to capture email addresses. And I'm working on this currently, so I'm not the expert, but Dan, if you have something to add on this, you may have more to add about this.
Myself as well. So I'm not an expert, but I can give basic principles, but you go ahead.
Yeah, basically just create something, whether it's, a recipe book or how you overcome your specific struggles or anything that somebody in your audience would want, then give it to them for free, but you have to request their email in return. So I'm actually working on my freemium right now. When I want to do a freemium specifically for people with IBS and stomach issues and stress-related eating, like trying to overcome that. So when I get that up and running, I'll be happy to share.
Yeah. And I think it's important then, too, guys, if you're going to do that route of things, and Jason would back me up on this, but it's really important then to have a follow-up sequence. So if someone actually does engage into your content, okay, so this is the basic rule of a freemium. You offer them some free value, okay, in exchange for their email. So it's a PDF file, it's a video, or it's a series of videos, however you want to do it, okay? And then you get their email. There's a welcome, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm Alisha, Carpenter, I'm Dan, whoever. This is my story, this is blah, blah, blah. Love to, thanks for joining my list. Love to help offer some value for you for the next few days. Going to send you some things. And then you solve another problem for them that the same target is, okay? So maybe it's a portion of that IBS for you, Lish, whatever it's portion of that you initially solved. Then there's a next step that you do. It's like, okay, well, I was struggling with, I don't know, a specific food group. I don't know, however you would work out. But then that's the next thing you solve for them. And then ultimately you can make an ask. After 2 frees, then you can offer them an ask to a next step. But if you only do the 1 free and then you start asking, they're going to turn you off, okay? Is generally the rule of things. So it's generally two value adds and then potentially an ask, funneling people towards, and generally for us, it's towards a challenge of some sort, okay? Is generally a good rule when it comes to Beachbody stuff. Let's see, chat. Where is this posted? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's something that you would use on your website or your blog, Claire. But if you don't have a blog yet, it's fine. The concept still works with free challenge groups, right? You are giving something to someone to get them on your list, yep. Right? So that's my next bullet is every month without fail. Do something like a free challenge group. And I know Dan hosts them all the time. Get on as much as you possibly can. Get on Dan's, his free groups because they're priceless. It guarantees Success Club. It guarantees it. Success Club is easy if you do a free group every single month without fail. Arms and abs challenge, a back to school crock pot challenge, a drink your water challenge, whatever it is, do it, because you're going to get an entirely new market every single month based on people who are friends of people who accept it, make it open to the public, and do it monthly so people know that it's coming.
Good deal.
That's the big one.
All right. We're going to apply what we learned. We're right here at 10 o'clock. So are we good? Can we apply? All right. So action steps, my friends here. What do we got for us, Alish?
All right. Have your 2-minute elevator speech. We did this in banking, so I apologize. I'm making you learn it. Learn it, love it, live it. Take a moment with yourself. If you don't know your story, learn it. Have it and in a second, okay? You heard mine at the beginning of it. My 2-minute elevator speech. Here's the story. You're at, I don't know, say you're at the bank and you have an elevator ride to your branch. And there's somebody who's standing there who, I don't know, pick something. You can turn and use your 2-minute elevator speech. You know, I used to be in banking. In 2013, I retired from banking because of my stress. You know my story. I don't have to repeat it. But what I've said it so much that I feel like people are constantly like, Alisha, shut up about your story. But it's new to every single person you say it to. It's new and it's powerful. It's very powerful. Every single person is different.
And guys, I just would say this real quickly. If you follow Melanie Mitro at all, how often does that woman tell her story? Oh my gosh. I'm like, I've heard this story so many times. I got it. Yep. But she's not going for me. She's going for the next person who just saw it for the very first time.
Yep.
Go ahead. So we got two posts. Yep.
Think about your most recent. If you don't have a most recent, do like your favorite customer who was your success story, the one who wrote you the email, the one who emailed you at 2:00 in the morning, the one who I called you to tell you that she put on these pants that she wanted to wear, or the one who fit back in her wedding dress, the one you know. We all have at least one customer who you're proud of. Share that story.
Yep.
Put that out there and ask her, can you tag it? Ask him, her, if you can tag them, and you can call it whatever you want. And Dan already talked about Motivation Monday, Transformation Tuesday, Wow Wednesday. Make up an excuse to celebrate. Celebrate it. Put it out there. It's a great way to get people. You will get new people. I promise. I promise. Okay. Another quick one is join 3 groups on topics you love. This is an easy one. Is if you love, here's an example. If you love greyhounds, I love greyhounds. I do. I just Google groups with greyhounds, and I found a group with like 4,000 people in it who love greyhounds. And then you eventually start becoming friends with those people. You friend them outside of the circle, and then they follow you on Facebook. They start to hear your story, and then they join your free challenge group, and you know how the cycle goes. So that's another easy action step to get new people into your Facebook.
Yep. Claire, your whole story with Christian, just seriously, that whole world and being supportive to kids down. Yeah, absolutely. So it's good stuff. Yep.
All right. That's it, guys. That's it.
Good work. Alisha, you're a genius and you're fantastic and you're a bright, shiny light, which is awesome. So thank you so much for being on this call, and thanks for blessing our team. And just the big thing that I really also was a huge deal is that just I wanted to, so especially some of the ladies, just to hear a female voice is really pretty nice. I like just saying it's like I get to hear Dan's bald head voice all the time. So anyway, so want to just remind you guys that coaches, you guys are everyday people doing extraordinary things. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the whole the call, is that you being in the game matters so much, guys. You being in the game, that means actively doing some things, okay? Please, we need you. We need you on this team. We need you to continue to encourage each other. So when the team is actually active and you guys are making some progress, guys, it spurs each other on. And if you kind of are just slumping, type it in the stinking Go Team Club and just say, guys, I'm slumping. I need something. What do you got for me? And I'm not kidding you. We'll come and run it, okay? And like we'll help you on your posts. We'll give you ideas, but we can't coach inactivity. If you're just going to be inactive and go, oh, well, I guess I'm not going to. But if you're actively trying something, and you guys, I'm breaking my head against the wall, and I don't know what the deal is, bang your head against the wall. We'll help you. Okay? So just saying. That's great. Next week, we are going to have a team call. And it's going to be, this is team call. We are going to have a team call. We are going to have a team call, but I don't have a topic yet. I need to actually kind of poll you guys a little bit more about, because this is the big thing. I want to do a call if it adds value and if it's important and it's a topic that you guys need information on. I don't want to talk about something you guys don't need information on. I'm not going to talk about going 15-star diamond because we're not there yet, okay? The week after that, though, we'll all be there, so it'll be great. So anyway, so next week, October 12th, we'll do this again. And Alisha, thank you so much. Appreciate all your hard work and being here, girl. Thank you. Okay, guys, I'll post the call just so you know in the Go Team Coach Club tomorrow, and you'll be able to point your coaches to it, and that's great stuff. So once again, thank you so much for listening. So great job, and we'll see you on the flip flop. All righty. See you.